Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Fox.
The cardiac Rays were at it again yesterday after falling behind White Sox ace Chris Sale as Drupal Cabrera hit the game-winning two-run home run off Sale in the seventh inning, leading Tampa Bay to a three-game sweep of the Sox. Tonight, interleague action returns as slugger Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals arrive at the Trop. The Rays are 4-2 on this homestand. They've won 11 of their last 15, and only the Houston Astros in the American League have more wins than the Rays. And that sets the stage for tonight's interleague matchup between the Rays and the Washington Nationals. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, pitching continues to be the underpinning of what the Rays have done so far this year. Erasmo Ramirez will go to the mound tonight. He has a great streak going. He could be challenged by a guy in the middle of this lineup who's only 22 years old, Bryce Harper.
Well, and what Erasmo Ramirez needs to do is stay with the game plan, and that is be aggressive and be efficient. That is what has led to his success. If you go back over his last three starts, can you argue with any of these numbers? A perfect 3-0 record, the 1.56 earned run average, 3 earned runs given up in 17 and a third, and he's done it on 13 and a half pitches per inning. Tells you he's going out there pounding the zone early, and what that allows him to do is then get to the sweeping slider and the put-away changeup. If he does that, he will continue to have success. But you're right, the one guy that strikes fear into opposing pitchers, especially right now, is Bryce Harper and what he's done this season. Look at the numbers. They are gaudy. He's got power from foul pole to foul pole. He's hitting lefties. He's hitting righties. He's clutch. He's got more walks than strikeouts. He has been doing it all for the Washington Nationals on the offensive end, and he is back in the lineup tonight.
And people who follow this Washington club will tell you not only is he putting the talent together, but he's putting a mature approach to utilizing that talent together. That means trouble for opposing pitchers. Another major part of the Rays' success story this year came from the Washington Nationals. Steven Souza Jr., major part of the Rays' offense. Todd Callis will revisit that trade when we return.
Nationals in the Rays dugout, including those two, Asdrubal Cabrera and Steven Souza Jr. The same could be said in the other dugout with guys like Jose Lobaton and Yunel Escobar wearing national jerseys. For the Rays, it was a very interesting offseason. A lot of players who thought they were going to be here for a while, like a Ben Zobrist, ended up being traded this offseason. Here was a big trade involving Will Myers going from the Rays to San Diego, Joe Ross ending up from San Diego to Washington, and Rene Rivera from San Diego to the Rays, Steven Souza Jr. from Washington to Tampa Bay. You see what those guys have done this year. Will battling an injury just back from the DL. Steven Souza Jr. with those 12 home runs, 29 RBIs, talks about being traded from the Nationals, playing against them for the first time, and how he dealt with the trade in the first month of the season.
It's cool. It's cool to see everyone and rekindle relationships and guys that coaches I spent a lot of time with and players that mean a lot to me off the field. But at the same time, we're trying to win a ball game, and that's what we're going to try and do. Yeah, I think so. I think I fell into the trap of trying to prove a trade worthy, and that's obviously that falls on me of not handling that in a mature way. And so I'm going to try and move forward and just play the game that I've loved to play the last few years.
He has moved forward. He's looking forward to facing this team. Probably the second most excited he was for a series. That series in Seattle probably top on his list, but he is fired up to face his former mates. The Nationals haven't won a series since they beat Joe Maddon's Cubs back in May, the 25th through the 27th. Two-game set starts next on Sunsport.
The right-hander, Erasmo Ramirez, heads to the mound for the Rays, and he has been on a solid run, making his ninth start. And here is the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers for the Washington Nationals. Bernard Span will lead it off, followed by Anthony Rendon. Yunel Escobar will hit third, play third in front of Bryce Harper. Wilson Ramos will catch. Robinson is in right, Danny Espinosa at first, Michael Taylor in left, and Ian Desmond, the shortstop, bats ninth. And the first pitch of this game is a strike call. Fastball on the corner. First pitch presented by Pinch a Penny. Liner into right. That's going to drop for a base hit. Cut off by Souza Jr. to hold Denard Span to a base hit.
Well, you can see the season numbers here on Erasmo Ramirez, but how about this? Since moving back into the rotation on May the 14th, in 6 starts, Erasmo is 5-1 with a 2.97. You take those numbers all day long. He has been very good, very aggressive in the zone, able to expand.
Had a couple of rough appearances at the outset of his run with the Rays, and since then he has been solid. Anthony Rendon up here. The pitch is a strike. He's at second base for the Nationals.
Just one stolen base attempt against Erasmo Ramirez, but Denard Span over there at first is 6 out of 6. This team does not run a whole lot outside of Span.
And they're not overly successful outside of Denard Span. 17 steals, 15 caught stealings. So he's the one threat, it would seem, that they have. One and one the count. 2 balls and a strike, and as you pointed out, not a lot of attempts with Ramirez on the mound, and the way Rivera has been throwing the baseball, tough to steal a base against the Rays, because if you give Rivera half a chance, he's been successful.
And that's what Ramirez does. I mean, he's quick to the plate. See right there, pick it up, put it down.
And strike 2 call. And boy, what a difference that is. You know, if you calculate the odds, a leadoff man gets on, it really helps an offense score. You put that guy at second with nobody out, you're really in trouble if you're trying to put up a scoreless inning. And so to keep a leadoff single stationary at first, very big.
Well, especially when you're talking about a right-handed pitcher. Typically they have a little harder time controlling the running game than a lefty does. But Ramirez very quick to the plate, and like you said, the combination of quick to the plate and Rene Rivera means you just hang tight.
(3-2) foul out of play. And on deck is Yunel Escobar. He's playing third base for Washington and hitting third in their lineup tonight. (3-2) again. Now the runner goes, and the pitch popped into shallow right. Out from second base into foul territory is Forsythe in front of Souza Jr. making the catch.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense tonight as it lines up in the outfield left to right. We've got Geyer, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. across the infield third to first. Longoria, Cabrera, Forsythe, and Elmore with Rene Rivera, of course, behind the plate.
Well, that brings up Yunel Escobar, who's having a good year in Washington, in stark contrast to the year he had here with the Rays. 2 years ago, he had a very good year, and last year he seemed disinterested and did not play well at all. As you can see by those numbers, a completely different story this year in a Nationals uniform. And he checks on the pitch. It's a ball. Jim Reynolds is calling the balls and strikes tonight. Manny Gonzalez at first, Paul Schreiber at second, and Fieldon Colbert, the crew chief, the umpire at third. 2-0 the count.
Ramirez trying to take advantage of Yunel Escobar's aggressiveness, especially aggressiveness coming back to a team that he played for last year. Anytime you have those types of situations, and that will be interesting to watch as this series unfolds. Escobar, Souza Jr., Asdrubal Cabrera, you face those old teammates, you want to show something to them.
That's a strike on the outside edge. 2-1. Washington coming in here running second in the National League East. They're a half game behind the Mets, and the Rays in a virtual tie with the Yankees, 1 percentage point behind them. Rays and the Yankees a game up on Toronto. Ground ball, diving stop. Cabrera, great play, safe the call at second, and now he's out. He overslid the bag. Boy, a great stop by Cabrera to make any attempt at second base, and Span lost the bag. Forsythe put the tag on it.
No, the throw's a hair wide, and it's going to pull Forsythe's foot off the bag. And the slide here by Span, as you can see, just cannot stay in contact. And Span's going to slide in safely. I'm going to tell you what, how many times have we seen a base runner overslide the bag this year? It seems way more than in years past.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That seems to happen all the time, but Forsythe, he stuck with that play and was able to get that tag on Span.
So 2 outs with Escobar at first, and in steps Bryce Harper, the DH. He takes the pitch for a ball. Tonight's Buick big matchup since May the 6th. What imposing numbers, a slugging percentage of .955.
You start getting up into the 1500s when you talk about OPS.
Yes, it seems impossible.
Yeah, big numbers, and big time power too. Left field all the way over to right field, hitting for average, taking walks. That on base percentage, .479.
Big cut right there. You can see he was trying to put that one somewhere deep into the seats in right field, and he has power to all fields.
Oh yeah, I mean he can go well like a Jose Abreu in the last series, foul pole to foul pole. Great changeup there by Ramirez to get 1 and 2.
This one is fouled back, a fastball.
And this is the combination. Yesterday we talked about Carnes being able to use that combination of elevated heaters and the hook. Ramirez can do the same thing with the changeup. Changeup down, heater up. He can go right back to changeup down here.
How about the distribution that we just saw of his 21 home runs? 7 to left, 7 to center, 7 to right. And he starts to go, lays off that fastball. Pretty close. And it's now 2-2. Ramirez getting up to 93 on that fastball.
But when you see Bryce Harper's numbers, you find an extra 1 or 2.
Down to first, foul. Yeah, Ramirez with about a 10-mile-per-hour separation between the fastball and the changeup,
which is fine. You would love to have it in that 8 to 12 range. Some guys you see less than that and they can be effective. Some guys like Brad Boxberger, Fernando Rodney, they'll get up to 15 or so.
The fastball fouled back. A lot of people, when Harper first surfaced, wanted to make the comparison, and it's tough to put on a young player, even one who's as confident in himself as Harper is. They saw that left-handed swing and they thought of how hard Mickey Mantle used to swing up there, and that last cut was reminiscent of Mantle. It starts to go and did not offer, and the count is full. Change up, very enticing, but he did not go around.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Bryce Harper's pitch recognition here on a couple of these close pitches after falling behind.
and he's out on strikes. Called out on the changeup. The Nationals leave a man. Big strikeout there on that prolonged battle between Ramirez and Harper. Bottom of the first coming, no score. Out in the first inning to get Harper, and we'll take a quick look at the Rays lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Brandon Geyer and then Joey Butler, followed by Evan Longoria, Forsythe, Souza Jr. and Elmore down the middle, followed by Cabrera, Kiermaier and Rivera, all against the left-hander Gio Gonzalez. First pitch is a strike.
Gio Gonzalez, 13 start, 4-3 record, 4.42 earned run average, setting an early tempo.
He quickly is ahead of Geyer. 0-2, couple fastballs to start his night.
Richardson right up there, 89, 90 miles an hour.
And strike three call. 3 pitches, 3 fastballs, and that's out number 1.
Well, a little deception here in the motion of Gio Gonzalez as he's got a slight turn, almost like a light Louis Tiant, and then fastball in right at the top of the strike zone. Borderline pitch goes the pitcher's way.
Interesting, and you saw where Gonzalez started his night with all 3 of those pitches up. Here's Joey Butler. He chops it to shortstop. Ian Desmond up with it. 2 gone.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Nationals defense and see how it's going to line up tonight. In the outfield, left to right, we have Michael Taylor, Denard Span, and Clint Robinson. Across the infield, third to first, Yunel Escobar, Ian Desmond, Anthony Rendon, and Danny Espinosa, with Wilson Ramos behind the plate. It's a sweet stash on Espinosa there in the headshot.
Well, here's Evan Longoria. Evan 1 for 3 in his career against Gonzalez. Pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes.
I'm not sure if that was actually a real headshot of Danny Espinosa or someone got under the telestrator a little earlier and colored it in. That was pretty impressive.
I'm confident in the integrity of our graphics because we know the people who are putting those together. Complete confidence that it was real. 2-1.
He got sick of it.
Cut the miss. 2-2. Well, the fastball, the primary weapon for Gonzalez, but a couple secondary pitches, and we saw one of them there on that prior pitch, the changeup.
Also will feature the curveball. Likes to go to that pitch. Obviously 2 strikes, you would think, when he's ahead in the count.
And that's the ball down and in. So Longoria is aboard. So the Rays get a base runner in their first.
And that's been an issue for Gio Gonzalez the last couple of starts. Last 2 starts, he's had 7 walks, extra base runners, extra opportunities. That's what has helped lead to the inflated ERA, at least for Gio Gonzalez standards.
There's Logan Forsythe in the box. Takes a pitch up and away. That runs it to 2-0. Rays have 2 games here at the Trop against the Washington Ball Club, and then they'll go to Washington, D.C. for 2 more games in Nationals Park.
It's like a playoff series.
Three and 0, the count to Forsythe.
Well, you like your opportunity here. Pick up a walk or a pitch that's out over the plate. Logan Forsythe can turn it loose.
And he's taking that pitch in there. Strike 1.
Well, you'll see some hitters go after the 3-0 pitch only if it's in their zone. And that was over the heart of the plate, but it was down around the knees. Logan Forsythe disciplined enough to not go after that.
Ground ball, that's headed for the hole. Base hit into left off a 3-1 fastball.
Well, and if you look at the locations of the last 2 pitches, the first one, middle of the plate, it was down. This one, a little further up in the zone. That's the one that Logan goes after, and he gets a base hit on it.
And Gonzalez has pitched up more in the zone here in this first inning.
Yeah, for as many ground balls as he gets, and he's got one of the best ground ball fly ball rates in baseball. He's at over 3.5 ground ball per fly ball, but you're right. There's been a lot of elevated heaters.
Steven Souza Jr. The pitch is up. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, both these pitchers here, Gonzalez and Ramirez, throwing a good number of ground balls so far this year. Covered up by Ramos, 2-0. So Steven Souza Jr. with a chance to do some damage. 2 men on, 2 men out in the first. Upstairs again. 3-0. That prompts a visit from Ramos.
Well, you're trying to get your pitcher to find a consistent release point. Right now, on the fastballs, it seems Gio Gonzalez, and he's got that little mechanism in his mechanics where he'll turn his back just a little bit, but he's jumping towards home plate. Arms not catching up, balls are staying elevated. He's trying to make the adjustment on the changeup. Those are coming in low. Can't find it right now.
Big cut and a miss, and he let it loose. 3-0. Well, some guys will take it, some guys will swing. Sousa swinging.
I think, Todd Stottlemyre used to always say you can tell where a guy wants the baseball by his swing. Obviously, that's Souza Jr.'s hot zone, at least in his mind, the way he cut it loose.
Whoops, and that's a strike. He was walking toward first, started to step across the plate, and Reynolds calls this strike 2.
Well, right at the top of the strike zone. If you're going to go top of the strike zone, bottom of the strike zone, boys better be ready to swing the bat here tonight.
And Reynolds' reputation is that he'll call that high strike. Runners go, and there is ball 4. And the bases are going to be loaded. That's what was so interesting in the first inning when Harper was called out on strikes on a pitch he thought was down, because Jim Reynolds has been a good umpire with a consistent strike zone, but there are more runs scored when he's behind the plate than most of the umpires. And he will call that pitch up, not so much down, at least that's his history. And pitchers work up a lot to try to get that strike and apparently get hurt up there. Tough place to work unless you've got overpowering stuff with movement.
The guys that have the success pitching up in the zone have either set it up or they're pitching up above the zone and enticing swings, pop-ups, swings and misses. But to pitch up there consistently, yeah, you better have a little extra life on the heater.
So Steve McCaddy is the pitching coach. A visit to the mound for Gonzalez. The bases are loaded. This all with 2 outs. And here's Jake Elmore. And he swings and misses a changeup, and a good one.
It was sold very well, and you have a young hitter up there, bases loaded, ready to swing the bat, wants to drive in some runs, and you drop that changeup on him, and you get ahead.
And a bit wide with the fastball.
Yeah, that's where he's been struggling. He's up in the zone, and the pitches that he has gotten into a good area in the strike zone, he can't keep them on the plate running off.
Little chopper. Gonzalez has it. The low throw to first, and it's dug out by Espinosa. So Gonzalez with a low throw to first, berating himself as he walks off the mound. And the pickup by Espinosa at first to save disaster for Washington. Out to family fun on Sunday, June 28th, as Kids Bop Kids play a post-game concert. All kids 14 and under receive a Ray's Retro 10 lunchbox while supplies last. For more information, Visit RaysBaseball.com/concerts. First pitch to Wilson Ramos is a strike call. Ramos, then Robinson and Espinoza. 1 ball, 1 strike. Washington in, they've won their last 2, 3 games over 500. They're 4th in the National League in runs scored, averaging 4.32 runs per game for Matt Williams.
A bit better than that on the road.
Chop to the right side. Elmore gets back to the bag and takes the throw from Forsythe. Elmore well off that first base bag for Ramos. So he's out of there, second to first.
Well, and you've got 2 teams here really that have been moving in opposite directions. You're going to highlight the Rays, last 15 ball games, they're 11-4. They've been keeping the pressure on the Yankees, while Toronto, who's the hottest team in baseball, nips at their heels. And the Nationals in their last 16 games, they're 5-11. Not been playing fundamental, sound baseball.
Strike 1 to Clint Robinson. And he takes strike 2. A fastball, 0-2. Robinson has shown some big power in his minor league time. There's a little roller, and it's just foul. Boy, the Rays with that big shift on him, and just as that ball approached third base, it squibbed foul.
It had a little action on it. It was off the end of the bat, and you could see, is it going to? No, it is not, by a couple of feet. A couple of feet short of the bag, maybe a foot wide, but almost what really could have been an extra base hit for Clint Robinson.
It's foul back. Robinson was a non-roster invite to spring training and broke camp with the Nationals, his first major league opening day. Ooh, close there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball just did miss.
Trying to shoot the corner.
And that's a ball on the changeup out there. Foul ball. Again, the changeup. And now the count is full. Robinson with the 1 home run, and that came off the former Rays right-hander Matt Garza. He hit it Thursday night in Milwaukee. And ball 4 is upstairs. Well, there's a 1-out walk after getting ahead of the hitter. Ramirez loses him.
Well, and in showing a little tip of the hat to that power that you were talking about, everything away. And as that at bat went on, Erasmo Ramirez kind of lost his feel for the outside corner.
Yeah, it's really interesting because they have the shift on for him. And sometimes pitchers say, well, I got to pitch to the defense.
Yeah.
That really doesn't play into the shift strategy, apparently.
Or sometimes your internals will say that, you pitch this guy away, doesn't matter. He's going to try to pull everything. And so you can stay away from him, and he's still going to try to pull. So It just depends on what kind of hitter you are, because typically you're right. You play the shift on somebody and pound him away. Well, a lot of guys, if they can handle the bat, they're just going to shoot the ball the other way and take the base hit.
Here, no score. We're in the top of the second. Mark Teixeira has hit his 18th home run of the year for the Yankees. They lead Miami at Miami. Last time we checked, that was the top of the second inning. And he now has a share of the American League home run lead with Cruz, Pujols, and Trout. Liner into right field. Here comes Souza Jr. to make the catch. And an eye toward first, but ducking back in Robinson, and there is no throw. Two gone with a runner at first for the left fielder Michael A. Taylor. Taylor with 5 home runs on the year, hitting .222. A ball too low. We will see an occasional slider from Ramirez. Two and 0. And we've seen a couple of them here.
He likes to sweep it too. You know, with his arm angle, it's going to be tough for him to get a lot of depth on the slider from where he is releasing the pitch from. So his slider is going to be more of a sweeper, and he's going to take it across the strike zone with just a little bit of depth to it.
Shot to center field, but Kiermaier's there to make the catch. That 2-0 fastball hit hard, but an out. We go to the bottom of the second, no score.
Durham Bulls manager and current third base coach Charlie Montoyo is mic'd up. Let's listen in.
Oh, you're mic'd up. Okay, I see it. Was say anything stupid? Microphone on.
Before you said.
What's that? I was getting ready to say something.
See, he brought it up. That's weak. That's weak.
Here's the thing. You can say anything you want. They'll take out what can't be heard.
Yeah, you hope.
So.
You hope they take out what.
Man, if our video guy could just get some stuff right once in a while.
Behind the scenes with Charlie Montoyo, the guy's always having fun in the dugout.
And we'll hear more from Charlie and the Rays dugout throughout the evening.
You know what I always find interesting when someone's mic'd up, whether it be a player or a coach? One of two things happen. There's usually no middle ground. It's either you're treated as if you have the plague and everybody runs from you. A certain guy will run from you. They don't want anything to do with you. Or you find out that you've got a lot of friends you didn't know you ever had who love the camera time, want to get on there with you.
The shot foul, well hit by Cabrera. The count is 1-2. Well, the home run yesterday by Asdrubal Cabrera turned things around in a hurry. His third home run of the year, and it came against Chris Sale.
Well, he had gotten him a couple other at-bats, previous at-bats on a fastball. He got another one there and deposited out in left center.
Fly ball towards center, and Denard Span is over there to make the catch. One out. You know, back to that microphone on Charlie Montoya. You know who is just more and more a natural for this kind of stuff is Steve Geltz. Comes sauntering up and just wishing that the Rays video guy could get more of these calls right.
And I think Chico is saying it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And right now I'm pretty hot.
Yes, he is. Here's Kiermaier shooting one up the middle. Swinging on the first pitch fastball. He's headed to second, and he's going to make it easily. Well, Span took it for granted that that was a base hit, and that was all. Completely unaware that Kiermaier was running from the time he takes that first step out of the batter's box.
Apparently, the Washington Nationals do not have advanced scouts, because this was just too easy. We see it all the time. The Nationals obviously don't see the Rays as much as some other teams do, but Kevin Kiermaier comes out of that box hot, always looking to take the extra bag, and he swipes that one easy.
He runs a single into a double, and the Rays have a scoring opportunity again.
Well, I do not know how that gets by you. As many times as he's done it, and as much video is out there, you got to know that.
One would think so, even in the case of Interleague. There's Rene Rivera. The pitch outside and pops away from Ramos. So 11 doubles on the year for Kiermaier.
How many are legit doubles and how many are singles?
We're going to have to go back and tabulate that.
I know. I would say at least half.
It would seem that way.
Yeah. Would be a single for anybody else in the league. Most everybody else.
Ooh, a big cut and a miss. 2-1. Well, the Rays left the bases loaded in the first. They have a man in scoring position in the second. And they have Gio Gonzalez trying to settle in. And the turn, nothing doing. Kiermaier jockeying back and forth, and has caught the attention of Gonzalez. And that's not all bad either.
No. If you can get the pitcher worrying about you out on the base paths.
Now he's headed to third, and there will be no throw. A stolen base, his 6th of the year. And the Rays have a man in third with one out.
Well, Gio Gonzalez never stopped him. You talked about him jockeying out there. Well, he was jockeying, no stop, and off he goes. A running start. Kevin Kiermaier, I'll tell you, he's getting more confident out on the base paths. We're seeing him run more, trying to steal second. They're stealing third.
3-1 to count to Rivera. And he sends a pop fly not too deep to center. Span will make the catch, the tag. Kiermaier heads to the plate and scores standing up. And the Rays, courtesy of Kevin Kiermaier, have a 1-0 lead in this game. Fans behind the Rays dugout give them a standing ovation.
As well they should. I mean, these are the little things that the Rays do to win ball games. This one run could be the difference. Good throw there by Span. Look at the speed by Kiermaier.
Fired up a little bit.
Jim Reynolds, Brandon Guyer, look out.
And now it's Brandon Guyer chopping one down to third. Throw to first in time. So the second inning is complete. The Rays have a 1-0 lead. Call on Sun Sports. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Checkers. Get Checkers authentic Philly cheesesteak or try the new meatball sub. Pick yours, 2 for $5. And by Morgan Auto Group. Kevin Kiermaier hustling the Rays into a run in the bottom of the second. We go to the third. He and Desmond, the shortstop, fouls the first pitch out of play up the right side. Well, Desmond hitting out of the ninth spot, and he has some pop. He'll rack up the strikeouts, but he also has hit some home runs for this team.
Well, he's super aggressive, as we saw him going after that opening delivery by Ramirez. And you're right, good power.
Two balls and a strike. Desmond hit 24 home runs last year and drove in over 90 runs. Ooh, look out, there's a foul ball back. And Rene Rivera checks with Jim Reynolds to see if he's all right.
Well, then you go out and give the ball to Ramirez closer to the mound, give him a little extra time to recover. Now as Asdrubal Cabrera comes in.
Let's take a look and listen. Reynolds a few years ago suffered a concussion in one of the more unorthodox ways. Ground ball to short. Cabrera's going to take care of that. One gone. And we'll check in now with Emily Austin. Emily?
Dwayne, the guy that just made that play, Asdrubal Cabrera, has been making great plays for the Rays all season. Kevin Cash said it before the game that he has been setting the tone for this infield and their strong defense to start the season. He's, quote, the best shortstop in the American League right now. Cabrera admitted to me earlier before the game that he had a bad year defensively last season. 14 errors in 92 games, but he wanted to turn things around. He's proven a point. Only 2 errors in 197 chances. That leads the AL, guys.
Denard Span lifting a fly ball to center for the second out. Well, I'll tell you one guy who appreciates what Cabrera is doing at shortstop, and that's Kevin Cash and the pitching staff collectively. He's caught everything out there, and some that you're not quite sure how he caught them.
Well, you know, Tom Foley positions him well, and Asdrubal Cabrera has tremendous hands. I mean, soft hands, very good, accurate throws. You had one today, pulled Forsythe off the bag out at second base, but for the most part, when he's able to set his feet, his throws are chest high, right where they're supposed to be. He's been outstanding.
Anthony Rendon. The pitch is a ball. Rendon out of Rice University. It's a strike on the outside edge. He had 21 home runs last year. He also scored 111 runs, which led the National League in runs scored. Batting with the bases empty and 2 outs. It's foul. Now 2-2. He got a late start this year. He sprained his left knee in spring training, and that set him back. Bases empty, 2-2 the count. It's popped up. Foul ball. That's going to carry out of play.
Nice catch.
Yeah, nice catch right there.
Never left the seat.
Now that's playing him perfectly. And we'll raise a toast.
Here, here.
Ramirez now with the 2-2 pitch. Lifted into short right. Souza's going to have to play that one, and it's going to skip beyond him. And down to second base goes Rendon. Souza did not read that all that well from the get-go.
Full swing, ball off the bat, and you're right. There was a little hesitation, and then as he comes in here, he catches himself too close to the ball and misreads that. Just not the best of defensive plays there, and what it's allowed the Nationals to do is get that run scorer, Rendon, into scoring position.
So a man at second with 2 gone, and the hitter is Yunel Escobar. Escobar came into this game 6th in the National League in hitting at .320. It's a foul ball. Strike 1. Runner at second. And a cut and a miss. Well, that pitch sweeping away from him.
Yeah, this is it. This is that slider. This is the sweeping action. Look at that thing just take off. One side of the plate, all the way to the other, and then some.
Fouls a fastball. And still nothing in 2. And that hits him. Fastball in, and Escobar was hit by a pitch.
Well, that has been one thing that you can count on with Erasmo Ramirez as Yunel Escobar tries to walk it off. That is his 8th hit batter. Like that grazed right off the fingers.
You can hear the impact. Yeah, that's 8 batters Ramirez has hit this year. In 16 appearances, this is his 9th start. And they're checking the right hand of Escobar. Slow that down, take a look. So we'll see if he'll stay in the game or not. With Rendon now at second base, and the Nationals will have a runner at first. So Escobar will stay on. And that's going to get Bryce Harper to the plate now with 2 men on and 2 men out. We'll take a look at where he ranks in the National League. 3rd in average, 2nd in home runs, 2nd in runs batted in, and tied for 1st in runs scored. And who could have a higher slugging percentage in the league than .725?
Well, he's done it all, and as we highlighted earlier, 19 of the 21 home runs have come off of right-handed pitching.
Harper had a prolonged at bat in the first, was called out on strikes on the 9th pitch of that at bat, and this pitch is down and in. So here's a situation developing after the first 2 hitters had been retired. Rendon dropped the double into right. Escobar hit by a pitch. And you could argue that the ball hit by Rendon was a catchable ball. And you have to give Souza the benefit of the doubt on the big swing, which sometimes is a natural thing to hold your ground or maybe even take a step back. And by the time he recovered from that, he couldn't get there in time. Big cut by Harper. Way out in front. The count is 2-1.
Ramirez is not going to give in, not to Bryce Harper. 2-0, you're not going to get the center cut fastball. So he comes with that changeup. Tries to work his way back into the count.
Down around his feet. 3 balls and a strike. Harper came in here a few years ago as a teenager in a January home run hitting showcase and hit a 502-foot shot, part of 6 consecutive balls that he hit out that averaged 469 feet as a teenager. He was about 16 years old at the time. And this pitch bounces in and he walks him, so the bases are loaded.
Well, once he fell behind, he made the point of not giving in, and then at that point didn't want any part of Bryce Harper, and now all of a sudden the bases are loaded and your pitching coach is having a conversation with you on the mound.
Well, it loads the bases and moves 2 men into scoring position. Jim Hickey lays out the approach there for Erasmo Ramirez with Wilson Ramos coming up.
Sometimes when these innings start to speed up on you a little bit, you just need to be reminded you're one good pitch away from getting out of here with giving up nothing. So don't worry about what's already happened. You can't do anything about that. You make a pitch here to Ramos, we come off the field still leading 1-0.
Ramos hit the ball on the ground to Forsythe his first time. And the pitch is a little bit wide. That slider that did not catch the plate. Ramos with an exaggerated open stance. And there's a ground ball to short. Cabrera to second for the force. And Washington will leave the bases loaded. 1-0 Tampa Bay. As they come into bat at the bottom of the third in this game tonight, we are participating in the home run challenge. Every Rays home run raises $12,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Joey Butler, Evan Longoria, and Logan Forsythe will be up here in the bottom of the third. Gio Gonzalez, 29-year-old lefty out there. He'll be 30 in September. Pitch is too low.
Back in 2012, Gonzalez was a 21-game winner.
Yeah, what a year he had. He put some numbers together that year that only a handful of superb left-handers have been able to do.
21-8, a 2.89 earned run average.
Up the middle, base hit into center for Butler. That bat remains hot. Butler right back through the middle as he so often collects his hits.
Well, and that's exactly why the bat remains hot, because the approach remains the same. Use the middle of the field. You get a pitch away, don't try to pull it, go with it, right back up the box. I'll tell you, he very quiet in interviews. You know, I mean, gets right to the point, give you a 4 or 5 word answer, and he's out. Doesn't bring a lot of attention to himself, but he is becoming a story on this Rays team.
You know, he had, I think, 14 games in the major leagues. He's 29 years old. Got sent to the minor leagues out of camp. He was in camp as a non-roster guy. Went down there, started hitting. Didn't complain. He just took care of business that was in front of him. And we've seen that approach here. He's got the opportunity when Jennings went down. Butler inserted into this lineup, and he has taken full advantage of it. 1-1 the count here to Evan Longoria. He's not flashy. He's all business in the batter's box. You can't help but root for him. Liner into center. Butler's going to make the turn and go to third. Spans throw back towards second. Wide turn at first as Longoria hangs on to the single. And it's first and third with nobody out.
Evan Longoria did a nice job of staying back on that breaking ball, and then, boy, did he jump into it. Here's the curveball. Right on top of that ball. Smoked. Not fooled at all.
Yeah, we have not seen the really sharp Gonzalez tonight. We've got a lot of pitches up and a lot of pitches catching a lot of play.
That has kind of been the story of his year. Just inconsistent results.
Logan Forsythe, and that fastball is too high. Up the middle, and it deflects into right. Butler will score. Longoria is going to go to third, and the Rays now lead 2-0. Well, that ball started up the middle and then deflected and kicked out to right field for an RBI single.
All three hits in the inning have gone right back up the middle, and this is where, as a pitcher, you've got to move somebody's feet and make them uncomfortable. Gonzalez is staying away, and the Rays' approach has been outstanding in going back up the middle. That was a line drive right off the heel.
It is right heel, and now they'll have to take a look at Gonzalez. Well, let's take a look at the Toyota trend and what the Rays have done against lefty starters. Gonzalez says he's okay. And the Rays have had a great run here. They've won 8 straight against left-handed starting pitching, and they've gone to 13-8 on the year against lefty starters.
I'm trying to figure out what DeJesus and Archer were doing down there. I think singing along with Sousa's walk-up music.
1-0 the count to Steven Souza Jr. You know things are going really well. Say you've won 11 of 15. When you look in the dugout and those kinds of things are going on.
Complete with hand gestures. Very soft and flowing.
Interpretive dance
in
the dugout. Two and 0 the count. Piece of it foul. So the Rays with 3 consecutive hits here in the third. A run home and men on the corners. That's the cultural corner down there in the Rays dugout. You'd like to send Charlie Montoya over near that group.
Right.
Since he's mic'd up.
Right. Too bad he's waving in Rays. There you go. I mean, one of the funnest places you could ever spend time. A big league dugout during a game.
3-1 to count on Souza Jr.
As long as you're winning.
As long as you're winning. You can do anything you want. There's ball 4. That's going to load the bases.
Well, you've got a chance here. I don't want to say to deliver a knockout blow, but certainly to blow this game wide open. Pitcher struggling with command, struggling with his approach. Bases loaded, nobody out. The way that you've attacked him has been very sound. He's been pitching right in to how you're attacking him.
Yep. And it's been an ongoing situation for him all night. Rays left the bases loaded in the first, got a run in the second. They have one in the third, and the bases are loaded again, this time with nobody out.
And it was changeup last time to start Elmore in the same situation. Not here.
And it's ball one.
Well, that's what he's going to have to. If he has any chance in lasting in this game, he's going to have to start mixing that fastball in, because right now that pitch is not being regarded highly at all by the Rays.
2 balls, no strikes. Evan Longoria at third, Logan Forsythe at second, Steven Souza Jr. at first. Fly ball, center field. Denard Span will make the catch. Tag at third. Longoria heads to the plate. The other runners will hold, and the Rays pick up their 3rd run of the night. Longoria scores. Elmore picks up his 11th run batted into the year. So 1 away now. And here is Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera hit a fly ball to Denard Span in center field in the 2nd inning. And goes after the fastball and misses. Strike 1. Runs home, a chance for more. Forsythe inching away with his lead to widen it a little bit out there, and drawing the attention of Gonzalez. High fly ball, deep to left. Taylor back. He's going to leap. Oh, and he makes the catch. Taylor back to the wall and made a leaping catch to rob Cabrera of a potential extra base hit. What a grab by Taylor out there in left field for the 2nd out, as the runners have to hold at 1st and 2nd.
And I think Asdrubal Cabrera thought that he got it. Off the bat, it looked promising. Michael Taylor, a nice jumping catch back there at the wall. And Cabrera, as he was coming out of the box, was very similar to last night. Look at this. Gio Gonzalez, he thought he got it too. He's asking for another ball.
He goes, well, hang on to that one for a minute. Taylor just caught it.
Boy, how about that? You're asking for a new baseball, thinking that you just gave up a 3-run homer and you get that kind of reprieve?
Yeah. What a catch by that young man out there. He stayed right with that. Well, if the Rays are to do any more damage, it'll be up to Kevin Kiermaier, who ran the Rays into their 1st run last inning. The pitch is high, and I think there was a cross up there.
Yeah, the glove work by Ramos tells you that. We're going to go talk about it. Let's take a look at Kevin Kiermaier. A ground ball up the middle. Look at him getting out of the box, already thinking 2, and it's not even close. And then messing around out at second base. Gonzalez never stops him. He swipes 3rd. And Rene Rivera, sacrifice fly, getting it done with his legs once again.
Now it's a ball and no strikes to Kiermaier with 2 outs in the 3rd and 2 men on. Takes that for a strike. Boy, what a catch out there by Michael Taylor. They really see him as their center fielder of the future, and you could understand why. There's a foul ball. 1-2.
Gonzalez got away with one there. That was a hanging breaking ball. Kiermaier's reaction. He'd like another shot at that pitch.
Well, Gonzalez has gotten another shot at this game.
Yeah.
And now it's a full count. I take that back. It's 2-2. That pitch down and away into the dirt. 2-2. If that ball does get out, as Gonzalez thought it was, suddenly it's a 5-run inning and a 6-0 game. Ground ball right side. The throw to first. Boy, he makes it close with that hustle. So Kiermaier's out. The Rays come up with 2 to build a 3-0 lead. Washington Nationals team, tonight's great moment in Rays history, presented by Geico. And we'll take you back to Game 3 of the 2013 ALDS, where Lobitone's walk-off home run landed in the Rays tank. Jay Lobitone, the only Rays player to homer into the Rays tank, and it created that celebration. And the fact that it was in the 2013 ALDS didn't hurt either.
No. It looked like it had a little help going into the Rays.
It did. Had a little deflection off that fan's glove.
Alley-oop.
1 strike to count to Clint Robinson, and Ramirez, who had a 23-pitch inning in the second, quickly has the jump on Robinson here in the 4th inning. He fouls it out of play. He got ahead of Robinson the first time up, and then wound up walking it on a 9-pitch at bat. Still 2 strikes. That's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popper, short center. Cabrera's out from shortstop, though, and he makes the catch. That'll be the first out in the fourth. Update your Facebook, post a tweet, and take a selfie. Saturday, July 11th, when the Rays take on the Houston Astros. Purchase a social media night special ticket package and receive a Rays selfie stick. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com/special events. Danny Espinosa. First pitch is low. He lined to right his first time up. Cut and a miss. Espinosa came into this game hitting .251 overall, but .333 from the right side and .227 from the left side. Foul out of play. And he spent some time in the spring thinking about not switch hitting and just hitting from the right side. And Michael A. Taylor on deck. Cut and a miss. He's out on strikes. Well, that's a fastball up at 92 and out number 2.
Doesn't pitch up here very often, but what he does, it can be awfully effective. That ball right up around the letters. You know, Ramirez, between the fastball, the changeup, and the slider, you're looking for something middle of the strike zone down, and all of a sudden, boom, he raises your eye levels and pops it right by you.
Michael A. Taylor, fly ball center field. Kiermaier on the run, and he did not make the catch. Is the call by Paul Schreiber. Schreiber said he trapped it. Boy, what an effort right there by Kiermaier. And Taylor is aboard. Let's take a look. What an effort.
The ball is dying.
And a single indeed, but a great effort by Kiermaier.
And you wonder if he was faking or he really thought that he caught that, because as the ball's going into his glove, if you look at him, the eyes are closed. He just knows that the ball's in the webbing of my glove. I must have caught it, right?
Runner goes, pitches down, and the throw is not in time. So Taylor, who made that great catch in the bottom of the third, is about to say what he brings to this team potentially. Not only is that kind of play in the outfield, but some power and speed, and he's in there with his 6th stolen base in 8 attempts this year.
The jump was so good that you could see Rene Rivera with the rushing the throw. He didn't really have a chance at all there.
Fly ball. Kiermaier, a bit more routine this time, has it to retire the side. Man left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Tampa Bay. is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Grow Financial. Don't go through life, grow through life. The summer of 69 at Circle K. Just 69 cents for your favorite size Polar Pop all summer long.
You ever had a Polar Pop?
They are good and good for you.
69 cents?
Yep.
I'll take 2. I don't know if I can finish 2.
Help to cool you off when you get a little too hot.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's every day. What is it, 93 with 95% humidity? So, yeah, it comes in handy.
Almost a public service.
It is.
2 strikes to count to Rivera. Gio Gonzalez, 29-year-old lefty out there. Boy, at this point, he's happy just to be down by 3 runs. He thought he was down by 6. In regard to that, I don't know that I've ever seen a pitcher asking the umpire for a new baseball on a ball that was caught for an out.
I can speak to being up here a few seasons with you, and I can speak for myself personally, and I can tell you unequivocally every single time I ask the umpire for a new baseball, I got one. So I don't know about it that happening either.
It was a great job by our crew catching that. That shot was great. There's a base hit lined into left. Rene Rivera, who drove in a run with a fly ball in the second as a leadoff single in the fourth. Here's another look. Cabrera thought it was gone. Gonzalez thought it was gone. He's saying to Jim Reynolds, give me a new baseball. Oh, wait a minute. Keep it. How about that?
Yeah.
Confusion everywhere. Now the top of the order, Brandon Guyer. The strike. Guyer hitting for the 3rd time. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Three 6-0 for the Rays, 0-3-0 for the Nationals. Guyer was going to bunt, and now he's behind in the count. 2 strikes. Oh, and now Guyer's hit by a pitch. So that's the 9th time this year that Guyer's been hit by a pitch. And a lot of them are on 0-2 counts. So he's at first, 2 men on. And we'll check in with Todd.
Dwayne, a couple of transactions for the Rays today. They are hoping to find that Grady Sizemore of old, who was a 3-time All-Star with the Cleveland Indians, suffered through some major injuries in his career, played with Boston and Philly last year and the Phillies earlier this year. He signs a minor league deal, set to Port Charlotte with the Charlotte Stonecrabs to see if he has something left in the tank. And Bobby Wilson clears waivers, and he heads to Durham. A lot of guys in the clubhouse happy to see Bobby stay with the organization, guys.
Yeah, you're right about that. Bobby Wilson, a favorite. He's a local product here, and so he needs to keep playing, and we'll go to AAA.
Yeah, really hated to see him go. That's one of those tough decisions that have to be made that nobody is happy with.
And, you know, it's one of those situations where you're truly a victim of circumstance. If the Rays don't have all these injuries to the pitching staff, and they don't have to do all the shuffling around to get arms who are available on a nightly basis, it seems, he's still here. One and two, Butler out in front of the changeup. Well, the Rays with men at first and second and nobody out. It's been the case all evening through the first 4 innings. So far they have 3 runs and a chance to have another big inning here in the 4th. Ground ball through the left side. Rivera will have to stop at third, and that's going to load the bases. Butler picks up his second hit, got it by Escobar.
Well, so often it's up the middle the other way. This one, Joey Butler gets out and around, hits that ball hard enough, one step in the dive, not able to get it done for Escobar. And maybe the Rays will get that 6-0 lead before too long.
Well, they're loaded with nobody out, and Evan Longoria about to step in. Evan has been on twice. Rays have 7 hits. They've drawn 3 walks, and they have a hit batter. And so far, 3 runs. There's a strike on the outside edge. Upstairs, it's 1-1. Action in the bullpen. It's Taylor Hill. And the count to Longoria goes to 2 balls and a strike. Up the right side, that's headed out of play. And we'll even the count. Gonzalez in the mid-70s now in pitch count. Fly ball lifted into center. Span making the catch. Tag at third. Throw's going to go toward third as Rivera scores. Geyer advances to third, and the Rays have a 4-0 lead. Longoria picks up his first run batted into the night.
And what was important about that fly ball by Evan Longoria was he got it deep enough to get Geyer over to third. I mean, the double play's still in order, but you still have that runner down at third with less than 2. Another sacrifice fly, another run.
Here's Logan Forsythe, who singled in a run in the third. It was a ball that hit off the right heel of Gio Gonzalez. 1-0. Finds his zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Geyer third, Butler first. Butler's back in. Brandon Geyer at third. He was hit by a pitch. Butler singled into left. His second hit of the night. He's at first. And a foul back. Forsythe 2 for 2. Gets his average up over 270 now. And a ground ball that's through the left side. Geyer scores 5-0. Forsythe picking up his 3rd straight hit tonight and driving in his 2nd run of the game.
Sometimes it can be tricky going back-to-back off speed. The changeup, and you slow down Logan Forsythe. Then you come back with a curveball. Look at him just follow it right down and hammer that ball right between short and third again. Not fooled very much at all. Hands stay back. Another run for the Rays.
Well, the Rays now have 5 runs, 8 hits, and that's going to be the end of the line for Gio Gonzalez tonight. Just didn't have his stuff in any inning tonight, right from the get-go. 5-0 Rays.
Your attention, please. Now entering the game is called for the ball.
Thursday, the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest as our coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay Golf Course begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and continues in prime time at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on your local Fox station. And it's all streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Taylor Hill, the new pitcher, he's facing Steven Souza Jr. Starts him with a slider that he takes for ball one. Hill recalled from the minor leagues 2 weeks ago. One and one the count. Hill in relief of Gonzalez, who works 3 1/3, gives up 5 runs, leaves with 2 men on. Look out, a foul ball into the seats back of first. That takes the count to a ball, 2 strikes.
Gio Gonzalez just could never get any consistency with what he was trying to do here tonight. And you got to tip your hat to the Rays hitters because they never let him off the hook. They continued to pressure him, and finally forced him out of this ball game.
Covered up by Ramos, and the count is 2-2.
And I really thought that the way that they attacked him, a lot of pitches away, a lot of hits right back up the middle.
Yeah, this is his shortest outing of the year, 3 1/3. And that is a no pitch. Time granted. So the count is 2-2. Runners are going, and that is a ball outside as the Rays pull off a double steal. Butler in the third with his 4th stolen base. Forsythe trailing into second with his 5th stolen base.
You know, how many times have the Rays caught the Washington Nationals tonight napping? I mean, just not ready for the situation.
And the infield comes in now. Souza fouls it out of play.
I mean, you know, these are two teams. You know, the Rays percentage points behind the Yankees. The Nationals in second place behind the Mets. What are they, half a game back? In that range. They're nipping at their back. And they're not playing very well. 5 wins in their last 16 games and really haven't shown up here tonight.
And there is ball 4. Souza walks for the 3rd straight time. And the Rays have reloaded the bases with 1 out in the inning. Jake Elmore again bats with the bases loaded. He had a sacrifice fly to get a run home in the 3rd. Rays have had 3 sacrifice flies tonight. Rivera 1, Elmore 1, and Longoria 1. First pitch is a strike. The Rays' record for sacrifice flies in a 9-inning game would be 4. So they're 1 away from that. One and one. Elmore had the bases loaded when he hit in the 1st inning, and the bases loaded in the 3rd, and the bases loaded again in the 4th. And that's ball 2, popping away from Ramos. Two one line drive to short. Boy, that ball sharply hit. That's all you can do. Hit the ball hard, and Elmore hit that ball extremely hard, caught by Desmond.
Number 13.
Boy, he's not happy, but you're right. All you do, you're solid contact. He ripped that line drive. Didn't take long for it to be caught, and Jake Elmore saying, listen, 3 straight at-bats with the bases juiced.
Well, hit it hard, and he did. 2 outs, and it's Asdrubal Cabrera now against Hill. Ball 1. Hill with a pretty good variety of fastball, slider, curve, and change. It's 1-1. Cabrera thought he hit 1 out in the 3rd. So did the starting pitcher Gio Gonzalez. And Michael A. Taylor went back to the wall in left center and made a fine catch. Cabrera thought he had a 3-run home run. One and 2 now. Eight hits for the Rays, all off Gonzalez. Taylor Hill on in relief. Been pitching at Syracuse. He'd been starting there and working out of the bullpen for the Nationals. Good play by the left fielder Taylor again. You can see why the Nationals think highly of him in the outfield.
See the athleticism, see how he, a base hit to center field, swipe second rather easily too. Great jump.
And Cabrera is out on strikes. So the Rays settle for 2 and they lead 5-0. 5-0 tonight. We raise up for Dallas and David from Eckerd. Since 2010, Eckerd has joined the Rays in hosting over 440 children in foster care for games and events in the Home Run Club, allowing kids like Dallas and David a chance to enjoy baseball and just be kids. How do you raise up? On to the 5th, Erasmo Ramirez will face Denard Span. Pitch is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Span, Rendon, and Escobar do. It's a fly ball into center. Kiermaier takes care of that.
Number 6, Anthony Rendon.
What is going on? Ronald Reagan off of the ladder, clotheslining a large bottle of water.
I think it speaks for itself. 1 strike to count on Anthony Rendon. Oh, 2. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Now 2-2. Well, Ramirez just a little over 80 pitches here as he works in the 5th. He's after his 6th win. He has 5 runs to work with as he goes full in the count.
And this is going to be an opportunity if he can keep that pitch count in line to maybe get a couple extra innings here. You know, in these types of situations, the Rays with a 5-0 lead, if he can stay scoreless, you give that bullpen a little bit of a blow and let Ramirez go a little bit longer.
Well, we've talked about how good he has been. He came into this game with a .496 earned run average and a 5-2 record. But the ERA is only because of the first couple outings he had that it is so inflated. And he gives up a walk. It's his 3rd of the night.
Number 5.
Down to first goes Rendon with Yunel Escobar coming to the plate. Ramirez not happy with himself, giving up a base runner here. And here's Escobar. He hit him on the right hand on an 0-2 pitch in the 3rd. Strike. See the numbers on Escobar, and they have been good in the Washington uniform. Ground ball, that's headed up the middle. 2 men on with 1 out. Bryce Harper will again be the hitter, and the Rays will get some action in the bullpen, and Jim Hickey's going to come out and take up some time. Rays get 2 men up in the bullpen. The left-hander is going to be Cedeno, and Gomes is the right-hander.
Well, Erasmo Ramirez thus far not scored upon. changeup. That was early in the ball game. Middle of the plate down, gets the call. There you go. Bases loaded, but all you got to do is make one pitch. And he did just that. Force out there off the bat of Ramos. And has just continued to pitch well, keeping Washington off, allowing the Rays offense to continue to add on.
Well, now he's in a little bit of trouble here in the 5th, again facing Bryce Harper. Harper has struck out and walked tonight. Well, you're always concerned when this guy is at the plate, especially with men on base.
This game could get really close very quickly.
And he takes a big cut, fouling it back. 1-1. Ooh, a cut to miss. Fastball. And the count is 1-2. Turn back there at second. Fly ball, short left. That's Geyer. And they get the dangerous Harper for the second out of the inning.
Let's see how he goes about trying to retire Harper. That ball down and in, ball one. All of a sudden a changeup, fouled it off, been given a steady diet of off speed, so he able to get the fastball by him there. Comes right back up to the same spot. Gets the soft fly to left. Well done there by Ramirez.
Wilson Ramos, the catcher. He's 0 for 2. It hits one through the left side for a base hit. Geyer comes up with it, and the bases are going to be loaded. Rendon advances to third, Escobar to second, and Ramos collects a hit to load him. Geyer got to that ball quickly.
And you close ground. Try to keep that runner at third. He was able to do that. And so in the same situation as before, Erasmo Ramirez, you got to say to yourself, I'm one pitch away. One pitch, make it, and get out of this inning without giving anything up.
Clint Robinson up here. He has walked and has popped to the shortstop Cabrera. And a line drive will be caught by Elmore to retire the side. Threw him a changeup. They leave him loaded. It's 5-0 Tampa Bay. Leading 5-0, and here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. The pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from the Rays right-hander Alex Colomé, and Orestes will break down Yunel Escobar even more so than he did in the pregame show today. So this will be an in-depth look tomorrow by Orestes of Yunel Escobar. Kevin Kiermaier will open the bottom of the 5th. Kiermaier, Rivera, and Geyer. Well, he'll be breaking down a revitalized Escobar. So we'll want to see that.
Go right
outside to Kiermaier.
Go right ahead. I'll be prepping for segment 3.
Yeah. And I watch you prep for segment 3 consistently. There's a lot of concentration going on there.
It's a lot of hijinks until they're like, hey, you're on in 45.
Oh, really? 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Kiermaier. Rays facing Taylor Hill. Gio Gonzalez started, worked 5 innings. Or worked 3 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 8 hits. And it's the first time that he has failed to go at least 5 innings this year. It's upstairs, and it's 2-2. Taylor Hill came on and walked a man and then got Elmore on a line drive. Boy, you can't hit the ball harder than Elmore. And he lined to short. Cabrera struck out. That's a fair ball, hits the bag. Skips past Espinosa. Kiermaier on his way to second. Throw's going to be wide. He's in there with a double. Kiermaier's second double of the night. It hit the bag and then bounced to the right of Espinosa, who made a futile attempt to grab it with his bare hand.
Everything going the Rays' way here tonight. This ball down the line, and I'll tell you, Espinosa had a great chance of making that play. Glove side, he's there, but the bag, can't barehand it. Wouldn't have mattered if he did. And this is automatic here.
Rays have had men in scoring position in every inning tonight. Twice they've left the bases loaded.
I was going to say, 5 runs in. How many have they left on base?
They've left 8 men on base. Twice the bases loaded, and then 2 men in the 3rd. Now it's Rene Rivera. He drove in a run with a sac fly in the 2nd. Opened the 4th with a single and scored a run. This is a strike. Squares, shortens on the bat, takes the pitch for a ball. The Atlanta Braves have added a run in the top of the 7th at Fenway. They lead the Red Sox 4-0, and they have the bases loaded, trying to add more. Turn, but nothing back there. The Marlins have scored a run in the bottom of the 7th inning to take a 2-1 lead on the Yankees. Takes the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Rays and the Yankees up in the American League East by 1 game. The Blue Jays are trailing the Mets. New York hitting in the bottom of the 7th, and that's a 2-1 game. Broken bat and a foul ball through the coaching box at third.
New bat for Rivera.
I'll tell you, the Blue Jays, they're battling the Mets, trailing 2-1. The Blue Jays have won 11 in a row. Line drive to first, caught down there by Espinosa. Another hard hit ball. Boy, you think about the line drive that Rivera just hit and the ball that Elmore hit the last couple innings with mid on. Elmore up there with the bases loaded, and then that hot shot by Rivera with Kiermaier in scoring position. That's a foul ball out of play by Geyer. Geyer has been called out on strikes and grounded out, hit by a pitch, and scored the run in the fourth inning when the Rays put 2 up. Bouncer foul, and it's 0-2. This Washington ball club won 96 games last year. Emerged as the only team in the NL East with a winning record. Had they anticipated, if not being in the race, some people thought they could dominate the East this year.
Well, then the Mets got off to such a quick start and still up a half a game here. But you're right. I mean, second place team last year, actually, there was a tie. The Braves and the Mets, 79 and 83 was their record. That's a pretty ho-hum September for you.
And a foul ball again up the third base side. Williams, the manager here in his second year. Long time as a third baseman with the Giants and a stop in Cleveland, then Arizona. Fly ball, pretty well hit into deep left center field. That's going to go to the deepest part of the park. Kiermaier scores. Geyer goes to third and stops there with a triple. Boy, did he power that ball back into the triangle. And the Rays make it 6-0. First triple of the year for Geyer.
Well, he got on top of a pitch that was up in the zone, and these Rays hitters just continue to have good at-bats. His ball up around the letters. Well, he kind of cuts that swing off there at the end, too. That's his style. With this ball, carries. Look at Span. Everything he can try to do to get there.
So Kiermaier scores. The Rays have scored in every inning except the first. Infield is in, and the pitch to Joey Butler is down. 1-0.
Well, and I've made a mistake in the scorebook, and I've already scored Brandon Geyer, so I think we can chalk that one up too.
Yeah, so he'd better
not
score.
Not going to race.
Pitch stopped there by Ramos. 2-0. Well, Butler has 2 hits. He singled and scored in the third, singled in the fourth inning. Rays have 3 sacrifice flies tonight. And there's ball 3, too high. Oh, that almost hit him. So Hill puts Butler aboard. And it's first and third for Evan Longoria. Well, the Rays continue to collect base runners. They have 6 runs, 10 hits, 5 walks, and a hit batter. And we're in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch is a strike. And now Longoria is hit by a pitch. So Longoria, the second Ray to be hit by a pitch tonight.
Well, you need to get someone out there that's got some control on the inner half. You know, almost hit Butler right before this. This ball rides up and in. Well, he gets Evan right off the wrist.
Yeah, that left wrist.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not good news. So again, the Rays have the bases loaded. You know, it was that left wrist that kept Evan out of the game for a couple of nights earlier this month. Just within really the last week or so. And they're going to take him out of the game here after his hit on that left wrist.
Well, it gets exposed as he starts to bring the hands close to the body and gets hit directly. And yeah, you do not want to mess around with that.
Nick Franklin's going to run for him. So Franklin comes off the bench to run after Evan was hit on the left wrist. So Franklin's at first, Butler at second, Geyers at third, and it's Logan Forsythe. The pitch is a strike. Boy, Hill, as we mentioned, had been starting at AAA, and he was known to have the best control in the Washington system. We haven't seen that tonight. 1-1.
I don't know if I'd be too high on the system.
Either the system or the evaluation of what constitutes the best control. It's 2-1 now.
Well, it absolutely has been a struggle for both Hill and Gonzalez. Not able to establish much, not able to get the pitches into the areas that they want them or need them.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Chopped down to third. Escobar goes to second out there and out to first. 5-4-3. They get the double play. The Rays get a run and lead 6-0.
a straight steal because he's so slow.
I know. I was just trying
I didn't want to give it to him. No, he gave it to me. So no, I'm not. He'll get him. Yeah.
Rivera.
Go!
Listening in there as we walk through the Rays center fielder Kevin Kiermaier scoring on that fly ball. Well, we've had a lot of action on the bases tonight. We go to the 6th inning. Andy Espinosa fouls a fastball back. See, Nick Franklin is now in the game at first base, and Jake Elmore moves over to play third. Liner into left. Geyer is closing. 1 out. Erasmo Ramirez out here with 95 pitches and a 6-0 lead. How about 19 men left on base in this game through the first 5? The Rays have left 10 and the Nationals have left 9 through 5.
Yeah, that's almost 4 an inning, which would be 2 every half inning. So everybody's up, so you're leaving 2 men on.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, the Rays have played at 6.
Yep. 1-1. Rays do have Gomes up in the bullpen. Michael A. Taylor behind in the count. That's the slider. It's 1-2. And that will take care of Taylor. Got him on the slider. Back-to-back sliders. And 2 up, 2 down. David Ortiz and the Red Sox come to town for an AL East battle against Evan Longoria and the Rays. That'll be June 26th through the 28th. For tickets, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Pitch to Desmond is a ball. See the Rays and the Yankees in a virtual tie for first. The game up on Toronto, 3 up on Baltimore, and 8 on Boston. The Red Sox have scored a run in the bottom of the 7th at Fenway. They trail the Braves 4-1 in that game. 1-2.
Well, they have been reeling too. That team is struggling.
Well, they're working on a 6-game losing streak right now as they've fallen 8 games out of first and a full 10 games under 500. Swing and a miss. Desmond chased the slider. Back-to-back strikeouts to finish off Washington in the 6th. 6-0 Rays. game tonight and all season. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Rays coming into bat in the bottom of the 6th inning against the right-hander Taylor Hill. As we mentioned, he had been starting at AAA and then was called up a couple weeks ago. So they can get an extended outing from him as Gonzalez left after 3 1/3. 1-0 the count to Souza Jr.
Very taxing for the bullpen, and that's why you see Hill out there continuing to work, especially the first game of a 4-game series.
Rays will play the Nationals 2 games here and then go to Washington and play the Nationals in their home ballpark. We mentioned at the outset the Rays have won more games than any team in the American League except for Houston, and the Astros have jumped to a 5-0 lead on the Rockies in the bottom of the 4th in Houston. There's a strike. 1-2.
Well, all that home run power down there, they're capable of those quick big innings.
Now, Springer and Rasmus have hit home runs tonight.
And how many runs in yesterday's ball game? I quit counting it, like 11 or 12.
Foul ball, and the count is still ball and 2 strikes here on Souza Jr. 13 runs. They beat Seattle 13-0.
Boy, Seattle's offense still not able to get it going. Made that trade for Mark Trumbo, and they may be worse off since the trade.
Houston bringing up some of their young talent from the minor leagues, and Lance McCullers Jr. won his 3rd game. He's 3-1. So a full count now on Souza Jr. Rays have been issued 5 walks, 3 to Souza. And there's another one. Leadoff walk in the 6th inning. Well, how about Max Scherzer? He was flirting with history yesterday in that outing against Milwaukee. And there is the hit that broke up that no-hit bid. And that's the only hit he gave up with 16 strikeouts. Base hit the other way by Elmore. Up to second base goes Souza Jr. And so Elmore, who'd been up with the bases loaded and was frustrated, he did drive in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd and hit the ball right on the button in the 4th with him loaded, but lined out. That's a base hit the other way now.
And I guarantee you, he's thinking to himself over there, where was that when the bases were loaded 3 different times?
Yeah, we saw that bit on Max Scherzer. Carlos Gomez broke his bat for that base hit in the 7th inning. Now as Drupal Cabrera fouls it out of play for a strike. 16 strikeouts. That sets a Nationals record. Steven Strasburg had 14 back in 2010. And so Scherzer with a 1-hitter and 16 strikeouts in their victory over Milwaukee. Two strikes. Cabrera is 0 for 3. Struck out in the 4th inning. That was against Hill, so he faces him for the 2nd time. Rays with 6 runs, 11 hits. Stays wide. We saw him get Cabrera with that same pitch in the last inning, and he took a last-minute defensive trying to stay alive cut and struck out. And misses a fastball out on strikes for the second time tonight, and the first out in the sixth.
Last time it was a pitch moving towards him. This time it's a pitch that's moving off the plate away.
So the Rays with men on base in every inning and men in scoring position in every inning tonight. Pitch around Kiermaier's feet. Fastball down there. 1-0. That's a little unnerving.
Yeah, yep. I mean, you could get a testy series here. This fastball way in off the plate. I mean, that's halfway in the other batter's box.
Tapper foul, and it's 1-1. Souza at second, Elmore at first, 1 out. Now it's 1-2. The slider that found the outer edge of the plate. Rays have had men all over the bases tonight. That's inside, and he did not offer. 2-2. Pop up on the left side. It's Desmond, the shortstop, and the infield pop handling that. So 2 outs with 2 men on for Rene Rivera. Marlins are trying to add to their 2-1 lead against the Yankees. They're batting in the bottom of the 8th with the bases loaded and nobody out. And here's Rene Rivera. Into right field. It's going to hang up for Robinson to make the catch. Rays lead 2. On to the 7th, 6-0. Ramirez has given the Rays 6 innings tonight of shutout, 5-hit baseball, 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. The Rays gave him some support offensively.
Yeah, they had a great approach off Gonzalez to start this game off. A lot of hits up the middle. This one going into left field. They kept the pressure on him during the entire length of his outing, which wasn't very long, but was in constant trouble. They forced him out of the game, have added a couple more off a hill, and are in control of this ball game.
And C.J. Riefenhauser will take over here in the 7th inning, facing the top of the order, making his 4th appearance. He pitched an inning in yesterday's game, and the Rays beat the White Sox 2-1. One ball, no strikes. Rendon next, and then Escobar due. It's 1-1. Rays are 4 of 14 with men in scoring position tonight. And Washington 1 of 5. And as you can see by the score, that run, that hit with men in scoring position, did not score a run. He advanced from 2nd to 3rd. 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Season high 103 pitches for Ramirez tonight in his 6 scoreless innings. Strike 2. 3-2. How about Ramirez now? He's allowed 3 runs over his last 4 starts. A grand total of 3 runs.
Well, he wasn't as sharp as we've seen him, over this span. We talked early in the game. He moved back into the rotation May the 14th, and he's had 6 starts, and he's 5-1 with a sub-3 ERA. Enough said right there. But what he did tonight was had a couple Houdiniacs, bases loaded, 2 outs, made pitches to get out of it, stranded base runners, finished on a high note, a 1-2-3 inning. But he's been aggressive in the zone, then expanding it and getting hitters to chase.
Pretty close there, and it's ball 4 to Span. Yeah, the 6 innings he worked, speaking of Ramirez, he twice left the bases loaded and left 9 men on base in 6 scoreless innings.
Every once in a while, you got to do a little Houdini impersonation.
Never hurts.
Never. You're right. Well, and you don't let the situation get too big for you. You realize, and he did 2 different times, those bases loaded situations coming with 2 outs is, remind yourself. One time Jim Hickey went out there to talk to him. The other time, he was just on his own. But you realize, hey, make one good pitch and the inning's over. He did that twice.
It's a strike, 0-2. Through the stands down there. 1 on with nobody out. It's a ball to 2 strikes. be foul outside of third. The Rays and the Washington Nationals opening a 2-game set here at the Trop. Then they'll go to Washington for 2. Rays currently 3-2 in interleague play this year. They split 2 with Atlanta, took 2 out of 3 from Miami. Geyer's coming in, waiting for this one. That's the first out in the 7th inning. And tomorrow's starters presented by Chevron. Alex Colomé will go to the mound for the Rays, looking for his 4th win, 3-2 with a .421. Tanner Roark makes his 5th start with a mark of 2-2 for Washington. Roark was a 15-game winner last year. He went 15-10. That was in 31 starts.
Yeah, you look at this Washington National pitching staff from a year ago. They had the lowest team ERA in the big leagues, best starters ERA in the big leagues, gave up the fewest home runs in the big leagues, fewest walks. I mean, it was, and by the way, fewest walks by a ton. I mean, this was an elite A-plus pitching staff. They've not been able to duplicate those numbers this year. Although Scherzer put on a show yesterday. We already talked about that.
Line drive into left. That's caught by Geyer. And Escobar is out of there. 2 gone. And Bryce Harper comes up again, this time with a man on at first base and 2 outs. Harper has struck out, walked, and hit a fly ball to left. Strike 1 from the Rays left-hander. Two. Very wide. Now the 1-2. Sharply foul. The Blue Jays have tied the Mets. Jose Bautista hit his 13th home run to make it a 2-2 ball game. And the Mets have held the Blue Jays. They had a couple of men on, but so it's going into the bottom of the 9th. They're tied 2-2. Swing and a miss. Harper's out on strikes. Missed the left-hander slider. We're going to go into the bottom of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch. The Rays lead 6-0. Baseball on Sun Sports is brought to you by Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife. By Kubota. For more information or to go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. By your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. And by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. Brandon Geyer sends one down the right side near the bullpen, and that ball out of play, and he caught it, or not. Well, that's Manny Gonzalez down there saying that Geyer's out, but did he catch it? Let's take a closer look. It's in that mid. And
those are extra balls from the bullpen.
Yeah. So Geyer is the first out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Espinosa comes out and goes, here, take your pick. Quite a few, including the one in my mitt. I'll tell you who that would upset if there were a few baseballs just loose down there. Joe West would be all over that.
Not a big fan of the.
No, he's very tidy about things like that. Need to keep a very tight ship here with things on deck, things in the bullpen.
Yeah, we don't need him
for
to,
that very reason, though.
Well, right. Could get a little dicey. Although you would have had the Rays bullpen crying foul. Something was really.
Well, if it's a scoreless game here in the bottom of the 7th, you might have had them crying foul. Butler hits this one hard, but right at Robinson. So Butler's retired for out number 2 in the 7th.
First baseman, number 2, Nick Franklin.
Well, Nick Franklin entered the game as a pinch runner for Evan Longoria in the 5th. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Mets batting in the bottom of the 9th. Tied 2-2 with the Blue Jays. Counts now 1-1. The Yankees are batting in the top of the 9th. In Miami trailing 2-1. The Marlins had an opportunity to add to their lead in the 8th and did not cash in on it. Franklin fouls it away. Rays with 6 runs, 11 hits tonight. Tyler Hill on in relief of Gio Gonzalez, who left with 1 out in the 4th. Rays got 5 of their 6 runs off Gonzalez. And that's strike 3 call. The Rays, for the first time tonight, are down in order. We go to the 8th, 6-0 Tampa Bay. Tonight's game summary brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. 6-0. The Rays lead this game. RBIs spread out among Forsythe with a couple. Geyer, Longoria, Elmore, and Rivera have chipped in, driving in runs. Vinny Romero into the game, and the first pitch, a fastball at 93 and right by Wilson Ramos.
Well, Dwayne, it's happened.
I'm afraid to ask.
And you should be. Omar Infante, second baseman for the Kansas City Royals, hitting .204 and 3 for his last 35 coming into play, has now overtaken Jose Altuve. And so now you have 8 Royals. The only non-Royal.
Look out, a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Ramos. Yeah, I am sorry to hear that.
Mike Trout. Mike Trout would be the only non-Royal to start in the All-Star game if it was held today. So,
well, somebody's going to have to address that.
Here we go.
Look at this.
And by the way, Alex Rios, Royals outfielder, is in 4th place. So if someone were to be able to overtake Trout, he's lurking in 4th place.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yep. So that bat went into the stands, and we wound up with an exchange, and that's what you were hearing in the background. So it all ended well, and that young man has a souvenir bat. There's a big cut and a miss at that big fastball. 96 from Eddie Romero. And with Romero, big arm, and it's all about command. And if he can harness that, can you imagine what he could be? 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike. Erasmo Ramirez worked the front 6. C.J. Riefenhauser worked the 7th, and now it's Eddie Romero in here in the 8th. Over the mound, backhanded, and the throw to first in time. Oh, what a play! Logan Forsythe just pulled off way to the shortstop side of the bag at second. Boy, that is some play to get Robinson. And here it is again.
How about the throw? And you know, here's the thing about that play right there. If he leaps to throw that ball, probably not going to be able to do it. But you see the range, and then just stays with it, and the arm strength going away. You just don't realize how far and how difficult that throw is. Not only accuracy, but to get enough on it. And Forsythe got it done.
Espinosa fouls this one. I'm putting 3 stars by that one in the scorebook. 2 outs. Nobody on with a strike to count to Espinosa. Cut the miss 0-2. Hey, let's check in with Todd quickly here with 2 outs in the inning.
You got it, Dwayne. Real quick, the update on Evan Longoria. Hit on the left wrist with a pitch. Contusion, x-rays negative day to day. Back to you.
Okay. And that left wrist is what kept him out of the lineup for a couple of games about a week ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the Rays weren't taking any chances and got him out of the game. That's when Franklin entered. Still a ball, 2 strikes. Miami over New York 2-1. Yankees have lost that game. A.J. Ramos saved it. He got Alex Rodriguez to end the game. And so the Rays have a chance to move into first all alone tonight with the Marlins defeating the Yankees 2-1. Still a ball, 2 strikes to Espinosa. There's a big right arm. Carpenter down in the bullpen for Washington. Foul out of play. Again, a foul ball. Wading into a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. This has been the better side for Espinosa, but he's seeing 97 consistently. Pops it up. That's going to be fouled and out of play.
We could just see in his swings. The swings look better. Well, it's not out of the realm of possibility that one day he could shelve the left side and go exclusively from the right. Other hitters we've seen do it.
Yeah, and that was considered. He did some of that this spring. So again, a foul ball with the count 1-2. It's been a 9-pitch at bat. Pop fly, shallow center. Forsythe hustling out is there and makes the catch. Of course he did. 1, 2, 3. Go the Washington Nationals. We're headed into the bottom of the 8th. 6-0 Rays. Six 0 Rays coming into hit as they hold this lead. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. Todd Narestas will be anchoring the coverage from out in left field. Kevin Cash will preside over his press conference, and Emily Austin will have interviews from the clubhouse. Logan Forsythe faces the new pitcher David Carpenter, and his first pitch is a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Foul back. 2. Tonight's high-def highlight presented by H.H. Gregg. Hard to get much better than that out of your second baseman.
No, from shortstop. All the way over. And the throw, the range. I'll tell you, Logan Forsythe has played a heck of a second base here for the Rays this year. A good athlete. You know, there was a couple of games they moved him over to first base and said, you know what, like that Cabrera-Forsythe combination up the middle.
Yeah, don't mess with that.
No, and they shouldn't. It's been tremendous.
A 1-2 count on Forsythe. He's driven in a couple runs, has 3 hits, and pops it up. Rendon out, and now it'll be the shortstop, Ian Desmond, who makes the catch. And that is the first out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Steven Souza Jr. will be coming up. He has walked 4 times tonight. Ray's record for walks in a game by one hitter is 5. That was Matt Joyce last year in April in Chicago against the White Sox. Souza swinging at that first pitch for a strike. You know, you're talking about the Kansas City Royals and stuffing the ballot box. They have to be voting more than 35 times. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
I think it's 35 times a day.
Yeah,
that's what it
that's how they're
sounds
interpreting
like.
that. They're just going ahead and doing that till they get a further ruling on if they can do it 35 times a day or just 35 times this year. But we've talked about that happening in the late 50s with the Cincinnati Reds. It was 1957, and Reds fans elected everyone except Stan Musial, and the commissioner stepped in and named a couple replacements. He had a pretty good case. He named Henry Aaron and Willie Mays in place of Wally Post and Gus Bell. And Post and Bell, in their own right, pretty good players with power. And Gus Bell played a long time, but the commissioner stepped in and said there are a couple of guys named Aaron and Mays should probably be in there.
Well, you know, especially now that this game is being sold as, you know, home field advantage for the World Series.
Yeah,
kind
absolutely.
of a big deal.
Yep.
Kind of matters. And it'll have an interesting look.
And there is ball 4, the 5th walk of the night for Steven Souza Jr. And so he'll join Matt Joyce in the Rays record book for most walks in a single game. 5 walks for Steven Souza Jr. tonight. And it'll be Jake Elmore about to step in. Elmore got a base hit in the 6th. And the pitch is a strike. One on with 1 out. Rays have had men on base in every inning except the 7th. One and 1. 5 runs allowed by Gonzalez in 3 1/3. 1 run in 3 2/3 off Taylor Hill. And now it's David Carpenter. Into the screen. Makes it a 1-2 count. foul up the right side.
Well, the Rays, of course, they've already seen David Carpenter this year. He comes over from the Yankees. They designated him for assignment and then later traded him over to the Nationals. It's just interesting how baseball works sometimes to help boost the Nationals bullpen. All the while, Joe Girardi with the Yankees is like, I need another bullpen arm.
Into center field. That's Denard Span making the catch. 2 outs. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, really, Girardi's pretty public about that.
Yeah.
But they designate this big right arm here in Carpenter, and Washington says, yeah, we'll take him. And they want him. They think he can be a major part of their bullpen, to the point of talking about him being the 8th inning guy, the setup guy.
One man's trash, another man's treasure. I mean, I don't know how you figure that, but yeah, that's interesting. And both teams playoff aspirations. You know, this isn't just a body.
Cabrera pops it up. That's Desmond, the shortstop, in shallow left to take care of that. The Rays lead 1. Do not score. It leads 6-0. Rays up here. They about hit Washington 11-5. Well, Rays home runs hit tonight. So the home run challenge continues through Father's Day. Make your pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Xavier Cedeno will take over on the mound. The Rays, after Ramirez, a parade of lefties. Riefenhauser for 1, Romero for 1, and Cedeno, all 3 lefties, but unique in their own way, as most lefties are.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It's certainly meant that way. Well, Michael A. Taylor is going to lead off here in the 9th inning for Washington. And the pitch is too high. Two and 0 the count. Two and 1. Just doing some checking on Souza Jr., who's walked 5 times tonight. Souza, the 28th player ever to walk 5 times in a game and not score.
very interesting.
And your team is leading right now 6-0.
Yeah.
3-1 to count on Taylor.
It's been base runners all night, everywhere.
And a leadoff walk drawn by Taylor. So he heads to first.
Shortstop, Ian Desmond.
Well, the Nationals have gone down in order twice in this game, and the Rays have gone out 1, 2, 3 once. So runners all over the bases in this game. This is Ian Desmond in the batter's box. Fouls it for a strike. And the pitch is a strike 0-2. How about this? Rick Odioso is working overtime and digging deep tonight. Melky Cabrera actually reached 8 times in a game without scoring. He had 3 hits and 5 walks in a 19-inning game. Did not score, and Toronto beat Detroit 6-5. On base 8 times. Good luck.
Every other inning.
Yeah. That courtesy of Rick Odioso.
Yeah, how do you even find those things?
A special person who does that. Fly ball to right. Desmond is out of there.
And I was wondering what the smoke on the other side of the booth, where that was coming from.
That's right. Yep. Working hard.
Attention, please. Pitch hitting for Spain, number 26.
Well, and you got to figure, too, Souza Jr. getting a chance at former teammates. The one team he wants to swing the bat against.
Yep.
Gets 5 plate appearances and walks 5 times.
How about that? Dan Uggla will pinch hit here for Span. And the pitch is a strike. See Uggla hitting .214 with a home run and 12 runs batted in. Lines this one into center, and he has a base hit. That sends Taylor down to second. And Uggla is aboard.
Second baseman, Anthony Rendon.
Anthony Rendon will be up here now. So Rendon has a double and a walk, is 1 of 3 on the night. Fastball cut on and missed. Blue Jays hitting in the 11th inning at last glance in New York. They're tied with the Mets 2-2, but they've got a couple men on base, first and third with 1 out. There's a line drive and a base hit into left, and that's going to load the bases. And you don't want this thing to go any deeper here. Rays have a 6-run lead, but now with a walk and 2 singles, and the bases are loaded.
And Jim Hickey right now talking with Kevin Cash, getting some instructions on who they may want to get up right here, because you're right, this thing quick enough to get the bases loaded.
Well, you've got Escobar coming up and then Harper behind him.
Well, it's been a couple of breaking balls. One that was up in the zone to Ugla that he was able to get into center field, and then that last breaking ball was down, but Rendon.
Fastball is too high. 1-0. Escobar was hit by a pitch on the right hand back in the third. Had a base hit, single to center in the fifth. And a strike on the outside edge.
Yeah, that was a quality pitch there. Started it off the plate.
See Brad Boxberger loosening in the Rays bullpen.
Yeah, and you know what you want right here? You want a quick ground ball double play so he doesn't throw too many more pitches down there.
Yep. 1-2 the count on Escobar.
Save some of those bullets. That bullpen for the Rays has been gone to a lot of innings, a lot of appearances. Nights like tonight, you want to let the big boys rest.
Bouncer foul. The Rays used Riefenhauser, Geltz, and Jepson yesterday. And in the Saturday game, both Boxberger and McGee were in. So the idea, what you'd hope for, is that Boxberger wouldn't even have to get up tonight. But he's limbering right now. 1-2. And a line drive into center. That's going to be in there for a base hit. One run will score, and the bases are going to remain loaded. So Taylor crosses the plate. It's 6-1 now. A walk, an out, and 3 consecutive hits.
Well, and the last 3 have come off the breaking ball. That was similar to what Ugla got. Rendon got one down in the zone, but he was able to scoop it into left field, and you just keep going 90 feet at a time.
So Hickey's out there on the mound before they work to Bryce Harper. This is really the last thing the Rays wanted, was to face Harper with the bases loaded, and with one out in the ninth, Washington starting to get an idea that they could be more productive than the Rays want them to be. .360 with the bases loaded, as you see there, for Harper. And he lines it to first, caught by Elmore, and they're going to get the double play. Rendon doubled up at second base to end it. So a line drive by Harper, and the Rays will come away with a 6-1 victory. Well, a fortunate turn of events for the Rays there on a hot shot line drive by Harper.
Yeah, and Nick Franklin getting up right here, making the catch, and then a great job as Drupal Cabrera is already there at the bag, and that makes for an easy double play. Boy, oh boy, that gets over his head down into the corner. Well, don't even think about it. It didn't. Game over.
Yeah, that hot shot, Franklin with that little leap and then a look to second base, and he had a cinch double play there. And so the Rays finish this one off. It's a 6-1 final. 6-11-0 for the Rays. 13 men left on base for the Rays. 1-8-0 with 12 men left on base for the Nationals. 25 men left on base in this game between the two clubs. And the Rays move into first place by one full game over the New York Yankees. 36-29 for the Rays. 34-29 for New York after this 6-1 victory for the Rays over Washington. Right now, let's go to the field and Todd Cowles.
Dwayne, with Kevin Kiermaier, KK, looking at your uniform, is this the way you like to have the you look at the end of the game?
Yeah, this is about how you write it up, and you know, I like getting dirty. If you're clean, it means you didn't do too much. I know these guys are behind me.
You're just gonna wear it, right?
I know they're behind me, but
that's the newest part. Is Joey Butler comes in now with like a sunflower seed topping on top of everything. I think you're good now.
You just got to get on camera. No, but no, when you're like this, I mean, it just shows that you did something, and you know, I'm happy to set the pace of the game with that hustle double there in the second inning, and you know, I like those as much as I can, and you know, try to create momentum for the team right there, and then things kind of rolled for us from there on.
Let's take us through that trip around the bases in that inning. It was one of those classic Kevin Kiermaier base hits where a single turns into a double.
Well, I seen, you know, I hit up the middle. I always busted out hard, and you know, once I got past first base, I seen where he was with the distance between him and the ball, and I was taking my chances right there, and you know, they were concerned with me on second base, stealing third, and I knew he was going to no-look me there, and Renee did a great job, you know, getting a quality at bat right there with the sac fly, so you know, just good job all around the board by everyone right there. And
what was the tip of that cap there just then? Did you notice that?
Well, Geyer, I come in running in, and Geyer's trying to give me a high five, and his bat about hit me in the face, and I'm like, hey, you know, watch out, man. But
don't touch his face.
No, you can't hit this. No, but no, quality at bats all around tonight, and so yeah, Geyer's reflexes, I don't know about them, and I was trying to tell the guys, I'm like, Geyer's trying to kill me out there, so that's what that was. So.
I know right before we started this interview, you saw the standings for the first time since the Yankees lost. You weren't aware of that. Your thoughts about here we are, the middle of June, June 15th. You guys are in first place in the AL East.
Yeah, and, you know, going back to spring training, I said, you know, we're going to surprise a lot of people this year. I love the guys we have in this clubhouse. We feed off pitching and defense, and our pitchers have been doing a great job keeping us in these games that we're winning 2-1, 3-2. And it's finally nice tonight to win a game by more than that, because I keep telling these guys, these games are so stressful when you're going down to the wire head into the ninth. So for us to win, you know, by more than a run tonight was really nice for us, and you know, we're just going to try to keep this thing going.
Final thing, sometimes he hits behind you. Today he's ahead of you because you face a lefty, but watching Joey Butler, a guy who's never really had a chance at this level, do what he's doing, it seems like he is a great little spark in this offense.
He is, and you know, in spring training we're like, man, this dude can hit, and you know, finally he gets an opportunity, and you know, it couldn't happen to a better guy. He's so quiet and just comes every day and gets his work in. And, you know, Joey Butts, he's just doing it right now.
All right, KK, nice job tonight.
Thank you.
Guys, Kevin Kiermaier, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. Rays are winners tonight. It's a 6-1 final, and they move into first place in the American League East. Same two teams tomorrow here at the Trop wrap-up game of the homestand. We'll be with you at 6:30 on Sun Sports. Alex Colomay against Tanner Rourke. Now for Brian Anderson and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays Live, the postgame comes your way next. Part of our continuing coverage.